and the birth and resurrection of your true self, of your higher self. And then to 1998, and this begins the change. The Egyptian prophecy began with an involution of spirit and mind, your spirit and mind, into matter. You gradually, over a long period of time, became encased in matter and the evolution up through matter, until souls regain the spirit consciousness they once possessed, but at a more mature level, so you're immature. Now you got to read these red words. This lady, I knew this lady, she lived in Norfolk, which is a town right near us, and she asked Edgar Cayce what would happen in the Aquarian Age, and he answered, in the Piscean Age, in the center of same, we had the entrance of, and he uses the Hebrew name, Emmanuel, which means in English, God among men. See? What did that mean? The same will be meant by the full consciousness. You will gain the full consciousness of the ability to communicate with or be aware of the relationships to the creative forces and use them in your material environment. And then he warns us, you had this ability in Atlantis and Lemuria, and you destroyed yourselves. You lost your way. Now you're going to regain them. How well will you use them now? And all through the Cold War and all of the atomic fears, remember all that? Everybody was afraid of everybody. And then we went into terrorism and all of that. We are struggling with all of this, and we've got to get through it. The Marian Apparitions, which are the apparitions or appearances of the Mother Mary, she prophesies that the age that's coming, you must have a pure heart. Therefore, usually when she appears at a time when real evil and darkness and jealousy is going to swell up among a group of people. And she says all of this has to come to the surface because you can't go into the next era with any more hatred or junk or regret on your heart. You must release it now, because the next era is the era of the pure heart. And so we need to be aware that we're going to, and those who can go into the new age, some will not be able to, you must clear all the junk out of your system, get it out of your system, prepare yourself, and make a pure, loving heart that you can enter into the golden age that's coming, that will be as 1,000 years when Satan is bound and there be no evil and no temptation on the earth. And the other spooky thing, Edgar says, then the people of the earth will meet the people of the universe. The veil will drop. The fourth dimension will open. And all the other souls who didn't come here will be there going, hi. Hi. Are you scared? No, we're ready. Okay. Remember, Gabriel gave this to Daniel, this prophecy. Now here a guy comes to Edgar Cayce and says, what can I do to help bring about the new age? And Edgar answered him and says, you will have to practice it in your own life. Darn. I just wanted a ticket. I just wanted a pass to get into it. You mean I got to do something? Yes. In 1998, Cayce says, we may find a great deal of the activities that have been wrought by the gradual changes that are coming about. These are the periods when the cycle of the solar activity or the years is related to the sun's passage through the various spheres of activity. That's the Mayan Sun Passage, 2012. You recall how the Mayans said that the sun was going to be aligned with the center of the Milky Way? You forgot 2012 already? Okay. All right. Became paramount to the change from the Piscean to the Aquarian age. This is gradual, not cataclysmic in the activity and the experience of the earth in this period. Now here's Gabriel's phrase. You have to remember, Daniel said to Gabriel, how long will it be until we're freed of all of this and all the promises come true? And Gabriel turned to him and said, a time, times, and a half time. And Daniel didn't ask another question. I think I would have raised my hand. Could you define that a little? Here's Edgar Cayce picking up on Gabriel's timing. These changes in the earth will come to pass, for the time, times, and half times are at an end. Here's Cayce saying this in the 40s. And there begin those periods of readjustments. For how hath he given? The righteous shall inherit the earth. Hast thou, my brother, a heritage in the earth? Woo. The entity has caught that vision of the new age, the new understanding, the new seeking for the relationships of a creative force to the sons and daughters of men. It is coming. All this dark prophecy you hear is pretty much behind us. What you're facing is the dilation of truth. There is one last thing in the Western world, the gathering of the children of Abraham. And you might not know it, but all the Arabs are Ishmaelites. They are the children of Abraham and Hagar. And they are part of the family. All the Jews are the children of Isaac, of Sarah. Abraham had a child by both of them. I got a couple of minutes and I got to tell you this fun story. Sarah's 90 years old. She hadn't gotten pregnant, but God promised she would deliver the promised child. Well, you know, ladies, what it's like. You're 90 years old. You're way past all of the normal things going on. So she turns to her husband and says, I don't know about this promised child, Abraham. Why don't you go in with my handmaiden Hagar and have the child with her? Well, just like a typical man, he doesn't even pause. Okay. And gives birth to Ishmael, the father of all the Arabs and Islam. Do you see? What do you think happens to Sarah shortly after Ishmael's born? She gets pregnant. And she gives birth to Isaac. And Isaac in Hebrew means to laugh. And she's saying, God made me to laugh. I had a baby at 90. You know? And that's the Israelites. They're all children of Abraham. The Christians come out, of course, the Israelites. So all of these are the children of Abraham, and they are of one family, though right now we're battling it out like a family often does. And I can tell you, I have been with the Arab Muslims a lot this incarnation. Many of them themselves are searching for what is this all about. You have to understand that Islam was at its peak of wisdom, enlightenment, art, beauty, culture, science in the 1300s. Women were equal. Women were poets. Women were leaders. And they've had a terrible conservative sort of decline, and they're dealing with it right now, trying to figure it out. Judaism and Christianity have gone through reformations. Islam hasn't yet, so perhaps there's a reformation coming. But it's going to be difficult. But they are all part of this one family and have to be with us in this transition, as many as can be. Otherwise, they won't be able to come in. Edgar says the wombs of the earth will be at such a higher vibe during this golden age that you won't be able to incarnate unless you have that vibe. You can only get in here through a woman. I know you think you got here some other way, but you didn't. And the wombs are going to raise their vibration so high that that's what's going to keep all darkness out of the earth for 1,000 years. Okay, if you want to read some more, I have of Egypt that has all the metaphysical stuff I showed you in a DVD here, and I also have the book 2038 with all the color photos that I showed you of the papyruses and things inside that, so you can check that out. And I thank you very much. It's been great being here.